Hey, you guys, here are your twin flame messages today. First of all, Spirit threw this card at me to remind you that the offer is going to come forward to come together in union, move in, reunite, whatever it may be for your situation. Spirit wants you to trust and believe in that, okay? You need to purge out whatever is necessary to release from deep buried wounds or negative energy that's been weighing you down. Whenever these triggers come up, you got to release it because otherwise it stays stored in your body. Know that you are deeply admired even when they can't say it, even when they have barriers holding them back, either physically or emotionally and verbally. They still feel immense love for you and admiration for you. Learn how to understand them and their behaviors psychologically and be compromising and understanding of their perspective and what they're going through and how they need to go about their process. I want to elaborate on that real quick. I say be understanding of how your twin needs to go through their process because everybody is different in how they handle things and how they react to things. Attachment disorders from childhood affect relationships, all types of relationships, and a variety of psychological things affect behavior for every single person. So your twin, they just have their own foundation of who they are and why they behave the way they do, and they have their own ways of how they need to go about learning things and how they need to go about their healing process. Their higher selves know this and are guiding them through it accordingly, and you can't force them to do things how you want them to. You have to be understanding and allow them to go through the process on their terms and the way that they need in order to get better. That doesn't mean that your perspective doesn't mean anything or should be disregarded, but the divine masculines are always behind the divine feminines in their healing process, and they're usually are more wounded, and they're usually fighting through more traumas and issues. So it takes them longer to be able to self-reflect and be more self-aware and be more aware of your perspective, and then therefore understanding of your perspective and working with that as well. So it just takes time. They need to go through their healing process before they're able to approach you and the relationship from that healthy, healed, harmonious place where they can create a healthy, interdependent relationship with you. But rest assured that they are going to come to that crossroads where they're ready to make those decisions and they're ready to move forward. And remember, Spirit reminded you with that offer card that that will happen. They will get there. Unfortunately, sometimes spiritual warfare is involved, and 50% of twin flames have spiritual warfare in their journeys. And people underestimate how much black magic and negative entity attachments can affect someone. It's shocking how many karmic partners do this stuff to your twin. And it's amazing how strongly it can affect people as well. I had no idea until going through my own journey. So if there are warning signs, or if somebody tells you to beware of this, it's worth looking into. Yes, there are scammers, but if you're working with the right person who knows what they're talking about, you can get this information safely and take care of it safely from a trustworthy individual also. The reason why 50% of twin flames are dealing with this is because the dark does not want twin flames to come into union. Twin flames play an integral role in the ascension process, so the dark is trying to prevent that from happening. And there are some twin flames who are part of significant soul groups that originated from even the archangels themselves, and who have the ascended masters working with them directly to help their journeys because they have significant soul purposes, not just as twin flames. So they in particular are under attack. So the karmics can be under the influence of these entities as well in order to do the black magic and stuff to your twins, which the black magic cannot change how they feel, but it can cause a lot of confusion and keep them stuck in these karmic situations and unable to make the right decisions for themselves. It can even block communication at times. And negative entity attachments can range from having like the little devil on their shoulder whispering negative thoughts into their ears to full on possession. I actually know someone who was full on possessed and murdered his mother and tried to kill his fiance. They were not twin flames, but it was still an example of possession. Entity attachments can really disrupt people's lives. They latch on to trauma and depression and hardships, and they just amplify it and make it worse. And they keep people stuck in those negative mindsets and in dark nights of the soul. And the negative entities just do whatever they can to create chaos and disruption and cause people to not make the right decisions for themselves. When your twin is behaving weirdly or not making sense or up and down behavior can also come from just avoidant attachment disorder. So that's not necessarily a sign of warfare, but people with avoidant attachment disorder have had significant traumas, so they are very possible to have entity attachments along with that. But when I say up and down here, I mean like totally doing a 180 suddenly out of nowhere. And it's almost as if like something influenced them or affected them to act like that. So I'm just trying to think of obvious red flags. Of course, right now, my brain isn't functioning in that way, but there are signs. And if you are worried or you suspect that something's not right, again, speaking to a healer who is experienced with spiritual warfare, which is a very active part of our lives, even though we don't realize it and it's invisible to us, they will be able to tell you if something like that is going on. I don't want to keep going on about this, but I'll just add that when your twin is really like stuck in bad, negative, toxic behavior, a lot of times it's due to spiritual warfare. And when in doubt, it's worth looking into and seeing if there's anything that needs to be removed. It is the divine feminine's duty and obligation to take care of spiritual warfare because the divine masculines are not capable of it, and it will not go away on its own. Okay, sometimes it comes through from past life cycles that need to be closed out, and sometimes it's an active targeted attack in this lifetime. So when in doubt, get some help. Everything you go through on your twin flame journey is a massive spiritual rebirth, reinvention process, leaving behind the old 3D version of yourself and becoming who you were meant to be from a soul level, first on your own and then together with your twin flame, helping to create heaven on earth. So just trust the journey and you'll get there.